Welcome to Pathetic, the podcast. Thank you for joining us again. We appreciate you watching us, listening to us. However, you catch us, we are very thankful that you do. Always remember, if you have anything to share with us, just go to our link tree that you see in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. It'll show you our Pathetic the podcast at gmail.com address. That's probably the best way to get us, but however you get us is fine. We've got I'm starting to get excited now this part of the year because we're going to start touching on our favorite sport, football. We are going to hit the Mets and the Yankees first. I'm going to give them about as much time as they deserve, which is not that much. But Mikey, how are you doing tonight?
I'm great. The calendar is turning. We had our first sunset before 8 o'clock until May, I think. Summer's winding down.
Yep.
The football gods are starting to be awakened, and pretty soon we're going to be in knee deep in it. So
Yeah.
Jeff, how we doing?
I'm ready to go, right? Especially when you watch our baseball teams. I've never been excited about the preseason up until this year. And I was watching the Giant game like it's a real game. And then I had to snap myself back into it that this is just preseason. But I guess that's a testament to how bad our baseball teams have been because I'm ready for football. I'm ready to go right now.
Well, and that's where we'll start. We'll start off with baseball. And as the only Met fan here, okay, I'm going to start off. I'm extremely annoyed. And I'm not annoyed at Steve Cohen. I'm not annoyed at David Stearns. I think that David Stearns has done what he can. I mean, you can only do so much, and he did a lot. It's time for the players to start producing. You know, last night they beat the Braves 13-5. Alonso is now the home run leader for Mets all time. It's all great, but that's one game. And if we're going to keep looking at Soto, if you're going to start hitting, you're going to need to start now. I mean, this is the important part. Lindor also. Now, I know he got hurt a while back, and maybe that's affected him. But it's time to start hitting. It's really time, and I want to hear some urgency. I don't want to hear Brandon Nimmo saying, you know, it's all out there for us, because that quote is also from Aaron Boone. It's all out there right in front of us. Okay.
Yep.
I don't want to hear it anymore. Now, finally, David Stearns is showing some urgency, and he's called up Nolan McLean, who is our number 3 pitching prospect. He's been pitching great. He's going to get his major league debut on Saturday. Okay. Frankie Montas has been moved to the bullpen. His next move will be, you know, he's going to be doing funnel cakes at the Allentown Fair. That's his next move. That might be the only thing that really annoyed me. The signing of Frankie Montas, and you didn't want to put the extra money in to keep Severino. Now, I know Severino's not having a great year, but he might have been different with the Mets. I don't know. At this point, you guys know I love the Mets. I love the Mets. I'm almost ready to say I'd like to see the Mets and Yankees not make the playoffs, because then I think you'd really see a sense of urgency for both teams. You know, so that's it.
But
I'm not giving them any more.
Yeah, I mean, I guess sense of urgency. What's the main move you would want to make? Like, let's say they don't make the playoffs, right? What would you want to see them do, or even 3 or 4 things you want to see them do to improve the team for next year?
Okay, here's where I thought they missed the boat, and they're missing the boat now. Okay, they should have traded Brett Beatty. I wanted to keep Vientos. I don't want to trade Mauricio. They should have traded Brett Beatty. And the problem is, because even though he's getting some production, Mauricio should be starting. And if Mauricio's not going to be starting, put him in the minor leagues. Get him 4 or 5 at-bats every single night. The other day, they could have tied the game against Milwaukee in the 9th inning, and Marte gets thrown out at home. Now, in a perfect world, and 4 weeks earlier or 3 weeks earlier, Luis Angel Acuna would have been running for him, and he would have scored easily. So those little things, they don't want to admit that they can't keep Mauricio, Vientos, and Beatty. And they're acting a little bit like Brian Cashman, where they don't want to get rid of any of them. Because as Cashman always says, which really is the dumbest thing, it's about winning championships. Brian, you got to win the first before you can put the S on the end of it.
Yeah.
And the same thing for David Stearns. Hell, I don't want to get rid of Vientos, but if the right deal is there, you got to make the deal. And you can't have such a logjam that it doesn't work, because now you've got Jet Williams, the number one prospect in the organization, who's a second baseman. I think he plays a little third base, doesn't really do much in the outfield, but he's played there once in a while. Now he's at AAA.
Yeah.
So that next, okay, so what's the next step? You've got McNeil, Mauricio, Beatty, Vientos, and now you got Jet Williams and Luis Angel Acuna. What are we doing here? What are we doing?
Uncle Ted, you nailed it. You said a phrase that we have to start talking about here, and the players have to start performing, right? Because when you look at the Yankees lineup and the Mets lineup, there's enough talent on both teams where we shouldn't be going through this, like, I guess, questions about the team or what we should do next year. There's enough good players on there to where we shouldn't be worrying about this. And,
Right.
listen, I mean, with the Yankees, it's just, for me, I said this last week, they just don't gel together, right? And I'm not going to take too much stock into the Twins because the Yankees beat the Twins in their sleep, no matter what, right? So I'm not going to – listen, 2 wins, it matters. I'm not sure what the score is tonight, but hopefully they can get the sweep and, kind of get out of that series with a few wins. But it's just the Yankees don't gel, right? And that's a very hard thing to fix because they have talent.
Yeah.
So you have to now eliminate some talent to get different talent to see if it gels with the team. And I don't know if that's such an easy thing to do. But, look, this team runs on Judge, right? Judge had a home run yesterday. They win. He had a good game the night before. They win. And I got to give my boy Volpe some credit too. He has been the best Yankee, I think, in the past month. So
him and Stanton have been amazing.
Stanton, I was going to mention, Stanton has been he may be the most underrated player in baseball because no one really talks about him, right? He's looked at as the old guy. They need him in the lineup so badly. He's playing right field while Judge is hurt. So I don't know. I don't know what the Yankees can do to get better, but it's just, it's one of these things, I think, for the Mets too. You just got to keep rolling the dice and hope they get hot at the right time, but I don't know. Mike, what do you think?
I mean, for me, the lineups need to really be shuffled. I think there's a lot of stagnant stuff going on. I'm glad that they finally moved Goldschmidt all the way down to like 7 or 8 for the Yankees. I'm glad that they've kind of put everyone where they're supposed to be or where the guys who are actually hitting are going to be every single day. Because I hate that when you have a lineup that changes every single day and guys can't really gel in their spots. Like, leave it alone. Let them continue to do what they do. But the real concern, if I'm a Yankee fan, is the bullpen. Because you could say whatever you want about the offense and the way it's been kind of hit or miss and feast or famine, but that bullpen is an absolute unmitigated disaster. I mean, you spent all of this trade capital on these guys. There's like 4 closers in there now. There's no one who is like, if you're on a bunch of other teams, they took like 3 closers and they all stink. They sent one down to the minors already. Bird is not the word. And now they have all these guys who were closing games and getting saves for other teams, and now they can't do it. And Devin Williams is completely lost from where he was at one point earlier in the season, where he actually looked like he could have been the closer, and we had ourselves a bullpen. But you're not going anywhere. Even if you come back and make the playoffs and win a division and whatever you're going to do, you're not going anywhere in the playoffs with that bullpen. So that's got to get figured out if they're going to do anything in October. I still think they're going to get there. Their schedule in
it's
September is insanely easy. They close the season with the White Sox, the Twins, and 2 series against the Orioles. So, I mean, those last 14 games, if they don't go 12-2, there's a big problem because those teams are going to be completely out of it. They're going to be booking their tee times. They're going to be drafting fantasy football teams and whatever else they're going to be doing. They're going to be looking forward to Ravens games down there in Baltimore. So just keep it close and figure out the bullpen. Give everybody a role. Give everybody, because that's the biggest thing. You look at the great Yankee teams in the past. Everybody had their role. You had this guy in the 7th. You had this guy in the 8th. You had this guy in the 9th. It was Stanton, Gordon, Rivera. It was Wetland, Rivera, Wetland, along the lines. Everybody had their role.
Yeah.
Robertson and Rivera in 09. And now it's just like, well, we'll just throw anybody out there. We'll see what happens. But I mean, that's to me what really has gotten me going, because they could have easily won a few of these games if their bullpen was at least semi-serviceable. They've blown too many of these games that they should have won and come back on, like that Marlins game, those Marlins games, the games back then. But thank God for the Twins, because
Really,
it doesn't matter. We could put the Staten Island Yankees, if they still existed, out there,
It's the
and they
uniform.
probably beat the Twins 8-3.
Yeah.
So,
yep. And Mike, I'll add on to that real quick. Devin Williams has costed us first place. I truly believe that. The games he blew
Mhm.
have destroyed us. They really have. And listen, it's a collective effort. There's a lot of problems on the Yankees, but there were so many close games that Devin Williams blew where we can be maybe a couple games back instead of 6.
Yeah.
Devin Williams has been, I'm going to use your phrase, Mike, an unmitigated disaster. And I don't want to see him on the field, let alone in a closing spot. But hopefully Bednar, takes his spot in a good way. We'll see what happens. But Devin Williams has been, he's just not fit for the city, right? That's the problem. He's not fit for New York.
nope.
Bednar's done a
You
nice
can close
job
all
since
day
he's
you
been
want in
here.
Milwaukee, but not in New York. You just can't do it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's true. But I think Bednar's done a really good job for the Yankees since
And he
he's
looks
been here.
fit. He looks fit for New York.
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
He
No
looks
question.
like he has like after he won.
Yep.
He's like he had that whole like pump up thing.
Yep.
He looks like he wants to be here. Devin Williams doesn't want to be here.
No,
you can see it in his
not at
face
all.
every time he goes out
Let
there.
me tell you, Pete Alonso broke him. Pete Alonso broke him in that playoff game.
100%.
So, well, the hell with that.
Maybe shave the beard. Maybe go back and put the beard band back in place and make them all shave the beards. Maybe that'll help them. Or grow them all the way out. Just let them go full, Red Sox 04 to maybe just switch it up. Just do something. There's no energy in this team whatsoever. Just kind of, we'll hit some home runs one day, and then the next day we're going to stink and we're going to get no hit through 8 innings. It's just boring. It's the dog days of summer. You want to be excited about something, and you just can't, because these teams are just
it's hard to
boring
watch
you
them
to tears.
I've been watching, and this is embarrassing. I've been watching the Canadian Football League, and when I tell you watching it, I don't mean glancing through it. Like my favorite team is the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Okay, I think I like the name Roughriders, and I like it because it's green. But the
fact that you have a favorite team tells us we got a problem in New York.
But I've also been watching, the other night I'm watching the Montreal Alouettes playing the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And I'm like rooting. I'm like, what are you, nuts? I'm thinking about it. I'm like, well, there's something wrong with me here. But I think it just shows you how much we want football. And last Saturday, I was at a barbecue party, and I did not get a chance to see the Giant game. Jeff, I know you watched the Giant game because we did text back and forth a little bit.
Yep.
Tell me what you thought of that game.
So the Yankees were on simultaneously. So I actually only turned on the Giant game to watch Jackson Dart, because that was my primary thing. I don't care how Russell Wilson looks, who looked pretty good, by the way. I know people knock him, but he looked like he was moving around pretty good, threw the ball accurately. But I really just wanted to see Jackson Dart and see what he can do in a relatively high-pressure situation. I'll tell you what I mean by that. This is the first time we're watching him, right? And we're so hungry for a quarterback. So people were watching him, and so does Jackson Dart. So he knew he had to look pretty good. And I know it's preseason, but I got to tell you guys, I'm pumped. And I want to see him play, but not this year. And my fear of the way he played in that game, which was very good, right? He threw 156 yards in like 15 minutes. Dable might be like, you know what? Let's get him in there. And I don't want to see it. I want to see him sit for a year behind Russell Wilson and let him learn. But my overall thoughts are I like him. I do. And I don't want to get like too much into what I think he's going to do because it's only one game in the preseason. I don't want to get crazy. But in terms of his comfort level, his accuracy, he took a sack when he needed to, didn't rush the ball.
Mhm.
He threw it away when he needed to. These small things I watched. Listen, even if you're not a Giant fan, you had to watch that and say, this kid's got something, right? So it's only going to, I guess, time will tell what happens with them. But after game one of the preseason, I can't be upset. I like what I see from him.
You know who loves him? Charlie Weiss. Now, Charlie Weiss, besides being, head coach at Notre Dame and offensive coordinator for the Patriots for a while, he was works on the offensive staff of the Giants for a while. He knows quarterbacks, and he talked about him, and he said no one is talking about this kid.
Yeah,
and all they do is look for problems that he has. But listen, that I think unfortunately that's what everybody does today. They don't look at the good things you do. They look at what they think your limitations are.
Well, unless your name's Shedeur Sanders, then everything you do is amazing. So, but we won't get into that.
I heard they put the statue up outside the stadium in Cleveland.
Yeah, they're ready to go already.
Yeah, beat the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah,
and go 14 for 23 for 138 yards in a preseason game against the Carolina Panthers, and ESPN was literally foaming at the mouth.
Yeah.
The whole Sports Center was on Shedeur Sanders, and I'm like,
yep. And here's
it's the Carolina Panthers, and it's.
How about what Josina Anderson tweeted? She tweeted out after the Cleveland game, "Hey, Giants, you don't want to see this." Now, here's what I'll say, and I'm not the only one who said this because Evan Roberts said it on the afternoon show on The Fan. Why would you just say, "Hey, Giants"? Because a lot of teams that needed quarterbacks passed on Shedeur Sanders.
Yep.
Not just the Giants. So don't just put out Giants. And that's another example of not only are they kissing the butts of the Sanders, but also looking to troll a New York sports team.
And if she's going to take this so seriously, she should revert her comments and say, oh, damn, Jackson Dart looks pretty damn good, too. Maybe he's better than Shedeur Sanders.
She didn't put anything up about that.
Of course not. She's not going to say anything about that.
Yeah, that was terrible. And listen, I don't root for the Giants. The only thing about the Giants is whether they win or lose, I'd rather see them win so you're happy, Jeff. Because I know you love the Giants. But I don't root against them. I just don't. I worry. I have enough to worry about with the green and white. I have plenty to worry about there. So but Mike, I was very encouraged Saturday night, Mike.
Oh, I was as well. I mean, my favorite part of that game is when we got your stereotypical Jets stupid roughing the passer penalties or after the play penalties or a stupid hold or a false start. And you see Aaron Glenn just ripping into these guys, MFing this and you can't do this and screaming at guys. That's what this team needs. If this team had that last year, I think that year goes very differently because I think you had an opportunity to really build something. You have talent on this team. You just had no one running the ship. And these guys, the inmates, were running the asylum. And that is not the case here. We have the warden from Shawshank Redemption going on right now over here. So I loved everything that I saw from the team. I loved the way that they played. I loved the way that Justin Fields looked. I mean, everything looked great for the first preseason game. Again, I'm not going to get too excited about preseason because you can't, we've seen this movie before with the Jets especially, but I love the way that they played and the strategy that they're using and just the mentality of the game is just, we're not going to do the stupid things that got us in trouble for the last 25 years.
And if you're going to do those stupid things, you're not going to play.
Exactly.
He pulled Clemens off the field, and that was it for him. But here's the thing that got me. First of all, I absolutely loved the way Justin Fields looked. He threw short passes. He hit a couple that were like maybe 8 or 9 yards. But then his legs, that touchdown he ran on. I mean, that was for us to watch that for a Jet quarterback was tremendous.
That's what he does.
But what I liked about everything overall, Jeff, I don't know if you saw the game, but Mike, when Cook came in and when Adrian Martinez was in a quarterback, did you notice that they looked like they knew what they were doing? I think that offensive staff is doing such a good job with these quarterbacks that you're not going to have a guy come in like last year when even a veteran like is it Tim Boyle when he came in, he looked like garbage, pure hot garbage. He looked like he couldn't even run the team. And yet this guy Cook, what is he, a 5th round draft choice, comes in and is efficient. Not great at all. And Adrian Martinez, who, Mike, I know you love this kid. Yep. He looked like he could be the backup if it had to be that way. Because I know Tyrod Taylor is out right now. He'll be out probably at least for 2 or 3 weeks. He's got a little bit of a knee
surgery,
thing.
Right?
Yeah, did he have an easy surgery supposedly? But that's what I love. They made some stupid mistakes, but man, they look like they weren't the Jets. You know what I'm saying? They looked like a disciplined team, like you said, Mike. The coaching staff was involved. And I don't know. I loved what they did. And again, in another situation where they try to troll New York teams, make them look stupid. The day before, every article here in New York, Mike, was Aaron Glenn's making his first big mistake by starting the starters. Then you look at it, though, Joe Burrow played, other starters played, and
Jordan Love played in that game. And you really want to talk about somebody who would be in a world of hurt if that team has real championship aspirations, and you had Jordan Love play a series or two.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, the starters should play, in my opinion. Like you can get hurt week 1 or week 2.
You get hurt in practice.
That's what Glenn said. Glenn said the same thing.
100%. So the starters, and I'm not saying they should play all game, but get them out there to get the rhythm, right? How many times do we watch the NFL and the first 4 weeks sucks?
Yeah.
You know why? Because these guys don't play.
That's right.
And they're not in the same rhythm. Even the Burrows of the world. How many times do the Bengals suck in the first 6 or 7 weeks?
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden they pick it up.
Yeah.
And that's probably why Burrow, that's why they want to start him, by the way. They want to put him in early. But as far as the Jets go, I didn't watch the game. But one thing I will say is this. I think the penalties, the dumb penalties they committed, that happening was a blessing in disguise because you saw the reaction from the new coach. It wasn't the hug saying, it's all right, sit down, no problem, like the Robert Saleh days. This is a new generation. And he laid into him, and he was pissed off. And that's not going to happen throughout the season.
No, not at all.
So you want to see these mistakes and these dumb things happen in preseason to see, first of all, how they recover from it. Secondly, how the coach responds to it. And I thought Aaron Glenn did a perfect job of responding, right? Not like ignoring it or walking away or being on the headset talking. He went right to the player and said, that cannot happen.
Yeah.
Right. And that's going to, I think it's going to manifest into the whole team. And I thought I watched the Justin Fields drive because I want to see how he looked. Again, it's one drive, right? I don't want to get crazy. Like, I don't want to get crazy with Dart. But you can watch certain things and be like, he looks comfortable.
Yes, he did look comfortable.
Right? And I felt the same way with Dart. He looked very comfortable in that system with the players, with the play calls. There was no arguing. So, again, take what you want from it. Again, preseason, one game, it doesn't matter. But we have to take something from what we're watching.
Yeah.
And if I'm a Jet fan, I have nothing but optimism after watching that game. So we'll see what happens. But
it's even like Friday, Brian Costello who writes for the Post, and he's covered the Jets for, I don't know, 20 years. And I'll tell you, he hates this team. He hates them. And he's always looking to cause issues. And he got into a little back and forth with Glenn in the press conference. And because he said, "Why are you playing the starters?" And he goes, "Well, because we are." And he goes, "Yeah, but why?" He said, "Because that's my decision to do that." "But why?" He says, "Because I made the decision." And I love that about Glenn. He doesn't care. He is a smaller version of Bill Parcells.
Yeah.
Right? And listen, you got to win if you're going to be like that.
I know what you mean. No, the personality,
But
right? Like he's not going to listen.
That.
He's not going to get phased by the media. There's no chance.
He's not giving his phone number to Joe Beningo that they can that they can talk about stuff.
No, they're not going to play golf together.
They're not playing golf.
He
There's
couldn't
no chance.
give a rat's patoot what Joe Beningo thinks. Who, by the way, Joe Beningo, you retired, stay retired.
Yeah.
Because I loved listening to you. You have become an old, bitter man. Because you don't see anything good in anything. But then when they will be good, whether it's the Mets or the Jets, you'll be the first one out there. "Oh, my team. Shut up. Shut up."
You know who Aaron Glenn reminds me of a little bit, and it's kind of similar to Bill Parcells. He reminds me of Tom Coughlin, right? Because he's coming into this system with his plan. Now, he may have to adjust like Coughlin did, right? The players didn't get along with him, and he made some minor adjustments. But there's no like, okay, I'm going to listen to you. No, this is my plan. I'm coming in. You hired me to coach.
Yeah.
Right? You want me to implement my plan. So this is what we're going to do. And we saw that with Coughlin, and we're seeing those same kind of personality traits with Aaron Glenn. So, again, it comes down to wins. It comes down to the season. But how are you not optimistic as a Jet fan?
I'll tell you this. Game 3, if they somehow beat the Giants this week and they're 2-0 going into that third game, in the fourth quarter, I want Aaron Glenn to look at this team in the eye and say, "I want somebody to miss a tackle and have us lose this game. I don't want to be undefeated in the preseason."
I hope we lose next week. I'm rooting for a loss.
I'm half rooting for a loss, too.
How about a tie? Tie will work for everybody.
Tie's not a bad idea.
Even better.
They tie. They don't play overtime in preseason. As soon as the game ends, that's it.
Listen, you
which
guys
we'll get to in a minute. But
you guys can have the Snoopy Bowl, whatever it's called, the Snoopy Trophy. It's all yours. Enjoy it. Have fun.
Oh, and here's a quick update. Somebody stepped on Aaron Rodgers. Did you see that today?
Really?
Somebody stepped on his leg, and they showed him on the sidelines with his leg wrapped. How hysterical would it be if he doesn't play the whole preseason? He comes in hobbling against us, and he tears his other Achilles opening night.
That is such an important game for you guys. How bad do you want to beat that?
I want to beat him so bad.
You want to beat him so badly, but equally, you don't want to lose to him either.
Correct.
Like, that's just as bad. Like, well, not just as bad, but it's like on the equal, footing in terms of you don't want to lose, you don't want to, you want to win. That is that's a high pressure game 1 for you guys.
That's the perfect.
It always is.
I know.
That's the perfect day where Aaron Glenn is going to bring out all the little quotes that he said bad about the Jets, and he's going to tell his defense, Jermaine Johnson, Will McDonald, Quincy Williams. He's going to tell all those guys, this is what he thinks of you. That's what Parcells used to do. This is what he thinks of you. And they're going to come out like, oh, I just can't wait. I'm going to actually be in Savannah. We're on our way down to Disney. We're leaving Friday night. We'll do an overnight in Savannah on Saturday. So I don't think I'll get to see the Jets, but I'm going to certainly try my hardest to see that game. Might be on NFL Network. Who knows? But
I think it is. I think it is on NFL Network.
Well, we'll give it a shot. So, but yeah. So yeah. Let's keep our fingers crossed. We don't have any injuries, and we just play some solid football. And we're that much closer to opening game, and I think that's going to be great. I really do. Jeff, you didn't have any picks last week, right?
No, last week was like a small
card, with a little thing, but you
kind of fill the space.
You do have one for this week in the UFC, and I want to hear what it is.
This week is UFC in Chicago. It's a great card. all across the board from top to bottom. And we're gonna do things a little differently. You know, I kind of think I ran out of gas with my three-legged parlays. So I'm gonna pick one underdog that I like every week, because the underdogs I like always tend to win. It's just that one damn loss I always get burnt on. So this one's gonna be pretty simple, guys. The champion is plus 205, Dricus du Plessis against Hamzat Shemaev. And I've been watching Hamzat Shemaev from the beginning, before he even got to the UFC, and he's an animal. I mean, he's an absolute beast. It's going to be a tough fight for the champion, but the fact that the champion is plus 205 is insanity.
Yeah.
And Dricus has done nothing but win from day one, destroy people. He hasn't even gotten close to getting beat. But the problem is we have these, I guess, like new UFC fans that came into the game very late, right? And they love this guy Shemaev.
Hmm.
So he's like the spotlight right now, and that's why he's such a heavy favorite. To me, I don't want to say it's a lock he's going to win, but in terms of value, Dricus du Plessis at plus 205, that's my pick, 100%. I'm not a gambler. I usually give my picks as a UFC fan. I'm actually putting money on this fight too.
Yeah.
So this is my fight.
I'm 100% with you. I love that pick.
I did already.
You're gonna tell me you can get 2-1 on the reigning, defending, undisputed champion?
Who's
I'm
young,
gonna take
by the
it
way.
all
He's
day.
young.
Right, and he's great, and he's a big dude.
It's crazy.
I would not take that lightly. So I'm all over it too, which is probably bad because all three of us are all over it. It's not a good sign for anyone involved.
Yeah, but you have to be. I mean, there's no
Yeah.
one that looks at this pick and like, oh, it's a bad value. Like Dricus du Plessis, who I've
Mhm.
watched again I've watched both these guys since day one. And again, Hamzat is phenomenal. There's a reason why he's the favorite. But plus 205 for the champion, who's still young, who has been destroying people. I'm all over that bet.
Nice. Well, I'm all over it too. We were talking about it before the show, and Mike and I jumped in and did some things. So, Mike, we did a thing.
We did a thing.
We did a thing. But now,
Some new
Mike,
cheddar goldfish.
you have been on a hot streak. You really have. Give us an update on what your picks did last week, and then I know you have a couple for this week.
Yes. So preseason week 1, Thursday night,
I won on it.
we crushed the 3-for-3 parlay. Ravens winning outright, Eagles winning outright, and then the Seahawks and Raiders tied. The Seahawks should have won that game. They gave up a no-nothing field goal at the buzzer to end up in a tie, but they still covered the 3.5-point spread. So that is almost 6-1 on your money if you bet the spread on those 3 games. So lots of cheddar goldfish if you hopped on the Mikey Mush train there. What a great! That's the most involved I've been in preseason football at 12:30 in the morning on a Thursday night than I probably should be. It was a little concerning that I was that involved, but I wanted to give everybody a winner for the people, and Mikey Mush comes through.
That was quite a night. I was on the phone with you quite a number of times that night.
Yes. So for this week, we're going to stick with football, but we're going to go on the other side of the planet where it is right now, the dead of winter. We're going to go Aussie rules football.
Uh-oh. Did we lose Mikey?
I have a 3-team parlay. These games are all on Saturday.
We lost Jeff, Mikey.
I'm going to take the
Mikey,
Hawthorne Hawks.
Wait, you're on the other side of the pond for what? We lost you when you said that.
Aussie rules football is our picks for a 3-team parlay. Aussie rules football. All these games are on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take the Hawthorne Hawks minus 21.5 against the Melbourne Demons. I'm going to take the Adelaide Crows minus 15.5 against the Collingwood Magpies. I can't bet the Magpies. Let's. And then I had to take the North Melbourne Kangaroos because you cannot not go to Australia and not look at kangaroos. So I'm going to take the North Melbourne Kangaroos minus 9.5 against the Richmond Tigers. That would also be 5.5 to 1 on your Cheddar Goldfish for those. And those all three games are on Saturday. I think at like 2 a.m. or something like that. Whatever time it is down there where the toilets flush the other way. But there was another game that stood out to me that's on Sunday at 2:40 in the morning. I don't even know how you can have this spread in a professional league. The Western Bulldogs are 72.5-point favorites against the West Coast Eagles. 72.5-point favorite is crazy. I might just take it just because I want to see if they can cover a
I thought you would
72.5-point spread.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I thought you would
72 and a half points?
72.5 points and a minus 8,000 to win. Money line.
Wow.
72 and a half?
Yeah.
That's
How
like
is that
Alabama
possible?
against Samford.
Right. That's Alabama against us.
Yeah.
72 and a half.
That's insane.
Wow. Oh, and people, just so you do know, the 3 preseason picks that Mikey gave us, okay, I just happened to put 5 cheddar goldfish on it, and I cashed out at 89 cheddar goldfish. You know, if you could do that once a week, boy, you would be happy as hell.
Absolutely.
But Mike has been hot. Jeff, you've been hot with your single picks. Again, yeah, you're right. 3-legged, you know, anything 3-legged is off a little bit. A 3-legged dog, a 3-legged horse, they're not going to go. But you picked
That's
one.
a great way to look at it.
Right? That's why. So you're going to be good. So we've got Mikey's picks in Aussie Rules Football. Mikey, just for the fun of it, you're going to take the points on that West Ham or West Coast
Western
thing?
Bulldogs, yeah, minus 72 and a half. I'm going to take that as a separate one.
So you're going to take the 72 and a half.
Yeah, I'm gonna lay the 72 and a half. Let's do it.
Okay, and Jeff, again, your guy is Hadidrakis. What is it?
Dricus Duplessis.
Dricus Duplessis. Okay. All right, so there are your picks. We will be back. I will probably not be on the next episode because I will be enjoying myself at the happiest place on earth. And we'll leave my boys in charge here. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Remember, Spotify, any podcast platform you listen to, YouTube, give us a like, tell your friends, tell them to subscribe. They won't regret it. We're coming into the best season of all, and this is where we're going to shine. Guys, thanks for making the time, and we'll see you soon.
See you.